Welcome to the Why Not Us podcast. We're just a few dudes navigating life and talking about it. Thanks for listening.
It is 10:40 p.m. on what is today? Wednesday?
Hey.
Wednesday. And we are worn out, ladies and gentlemen. But you know what? Episode 8.
My man, I was about to say you better do it.
I don't want to do it. Let me be honest there. I just really don't want it, but I'm doing it because I do it every episode.
He's committed to the game. He's committed.
So this one is from Brewdog Brewing. It's called Hellcat. Now look at that fire packaging.
Where's this from?
So they have a place in Scotland and in Ohio, I do believe.
Seems random. Scotland and Ohio. We're at in Ohio.
Columbus. I think it's actually a brewery and a hotel, which is kind of a unique combo. And they've got a tap room in London because Kelly and I, when we went over there, as you know from last episode, I had a Paris, France bottle opener. So we went to like Ireland, London, or Dublin, London, and Paris all in one trip, which was fantastic. But anywho, they had a tap room in London close to where we were staying. And so we walked there and got a few brews and, went back to the room. Actually, we got a burrito after that. And then we went back to the room.
Very
and
cool.
Here's my story. Then I found $5.
US or euros?
No, he did.
No, it was US. It was definitely US. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a joke. Then I found $5.
No, it was a joke. That's how you end bad stories.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, that's
so anytime that you feel like you're rambling on a story and you can just see in your friends' faces like, hurry up, Jones, shut up. You just say, and then I found $5, and then it was great,
Exactly.
I guess I'm the only one in this podcast that's not been across the pond.
Yeah, what are you waiting on, man?
I don't know.
It's a whole nother world over there. It's great.
I love America too much.
America is great, but there's also really cool things in Europe. I'll tell you that. Joey, you've been there, eh?
Yeah, I've been twice actually. Once in high school, and then for a wedding back in 2000 and I think 19. I went to Italy.
You went to a wedding.
Yeah. We've got a big wedding coming up. Uh-oh.
We do have one.
Though. Not in Italy.
Yeah, not in Italy. Close, very close.
Actually could go to another one in Brazil in a couple months, but I'm trying to figure that out. We'll see.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I've never been.
I really wish you kept up with your wedding Excel document.
I don't know.
Dude, you go to so many weddings every year, it feels.
Man of the people.
Just a man of the people. I had it at one point, I don't know. I'll try to dig it out. Something.
You are one of those guys though that, you really enjoy having at a party,
Yeah,
You're just one of those people. You like to have a good time.
That's what I tell people. I'm just a good time, and I don't mean that in a arrogant way. I just always like to have fun. So
yeah, you're always a good time, Joey.
I think I've said this too, and if you feel important enough to invite me to your wedding, I feel like I need to do my due diligence to get there for you.
Yeah.
So.
And rage your face off and sleep all day the next day.
Amen.
All right. Well, episode 8, fellas. I would say episode 7 was pretty cool. We interviewed our first guest. And we all got the itch to interview more people. So, I think that's something we should try to do,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Viewmaster Mike, what a great guest he was. Told some great stories. How he was a baseball card collector and how he ended up in Pittsburgh and loves Pittsburgh more than Joey loves Pittsburgh. So I thought it was really cool. I think he's doing a really cool thing in the park there.
Very true. Very true. I enjoyed it. It was awesome.
Yeah, and so we did post a little sneak peek video of the interview. So if you're watching this or listening to this, and you haven't listened to episode 8, Viewmaster Mike, or episode 7, Viewmaster Mike would be on there. And I thought it was really good. I think it was around 7-8 minutes in. He came on and interviewed for a few minutes, and it was cool. It was cool. How are you guys doing?
I
Pretty
just
good.
as you kind of hit at the beginning. I just woke up from a nap. I have binge watched The Bear tonight and last night, so I finished that show, or the first season of that show.
What's it
Um,
called again?
The Bear. It's on FX, but you can watch it on Hulu.
Okay.
That was
Uh,
what you were telling us about, right?
someone told me about it. That wasn't me.
Oh.
It's the one with lip in it, Jordan.
Yeah. The clergy was telling me I should watch it because I like Shameless. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a quick watch, man. It'll take you less than 4 hours.
Okay.
Tell you what, that show on Netflix alone sure was addicting. I watched. Have you guys seen that?
No.
They just drop people off in the wild. They have only a few tools that they can take, but they basically are just trying to survive out there with nothing. They can only take a few things. So they build like houses out there. They try to fish and get food and kill animals, and it's just wild.
So it's like Naked and what, Afraid or whatever. They took people out in the woods and dropped them off and stuff.
Yeah, and the way they set it up is that the person that's in the competition or whatever is also the videographer the whole time. So there's not like a camera crew that's out there with them or anything like that. I mean, they're totally just like dropped off and alone.
Yeah.
And some of them can last, 100 or so days, which is
Whoa.
insane.
Whoa.
So here's a hypothetical question then, with that case. So Joey, do you feel like if someone dropped you off in the middle of nowhere, say in Henrico County or somewhere within the greater uh, Richmond area, could you find your way back home to your childhood home?
I don't know. If it would just depend on where they drop me off.
But it doesn't matter where. Do you think you could work your way back to the house? Same goes for you, Jones. Someone drops you off in the middle of the woods in Dickinson County.
I'm
Do you
trying to
think you could
think.
work your way back?
Probably not. If I don't have like a compass or anything like that, probably. I mean, a
I would
compass
think I
probably
would
wouldn't help me either. I mean, I need a cell phone.
I would hope I could. How about that? I don't know if I could, but I would hope I could. How about I don't know, man. That's a tough question.
I don't think so in my case. It's too mountainous where we are.
Yeah, but we like know where most people live at. Like you, Joey, like
Well, that's
too
true. I
big of an
mean,
area. You come out and you're like, oh, I know such and such lives there, and then you work your way around. Joey's is tough. I mean, he lives in a very large
yeah,
area.
huge. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I don't
true.
know.
If you can find some life in where we are from, then it's like, okay, I think I know roundabout where this might
Yeah,
be.
It's a tough question. I don't know. I would hope so. It's one of those things like your parents ever tell you, like if you get lost as a kid or a high schooler or whatever. This is remember pre cell phones. Like
yeah.
always take Broad Street home or like always go 64 West. Like, did your parents ever like tell you, hey, like always hop on this bus? Like, did you guys never have those like talks?
Yeah, we had a
Well,
lot of buses to ride. Yeah,
yeah,
in Haysi and stoplights.
yeah.
No, we didn't.
I guess
So
not.
the greater part of that question comes from to preface our super high five tonight. Um, if I always find it amazing when like dogs or cats get lost and they find their way back home through the
Oh
sense of
yeah.
smell. Um, and so like I wondered if like from a human standpoint, because Jones just talked about getting dropped off in the woods and they've got to survive. As a
Mhm.
human, could you find your way home like a dog would?
It'd be tough. It'd be tough. You got to have something familiar around you, or know like how to get to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
somebody's house or something you might even remotely recognize. But yeah, that's tough. um, so football this weekend, fellas, and Jordan. Wow,
Yeah.
did the Bengals screw up or what?
Well, that might be the game of the year. It was week one just because how bad it
Jordan,
was.
Jordan Black catted him, folks. For those all those people out there,
Black cat.
he texted the group that they won, and then they missed the extra point.
So I had not seen anywhere that Clark Harris like was out, the long snapper.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Jamar catches the touchdown and the special teams goes out, broadcaster goes, "Oh yeah, long snapper Clark Harris is out for the rest of the game." And I'm like, "Shit." The backup long snapper is like the third string tight end. Like I don't know how this is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
That was after I sent the 1-0 text in our group chat. Um, And
Yeah, I was saying, what was it? It was 1-0. That was the text.
yeah,
Folks.
1-0. Because Joey's like, oh, they're going to lose. I don't think Joey had any in his mind that the game would go like that.
It was one of
No,
those
but I
games
knew
too
you
where you
black
were,
catted him.
I did Black Cat, but Joey had said last week Steelers were going to beat the Bengals, but I don't think he thought it was going to be like that. That no team deserved to win.
I was gonna say I didn't follow it up again. You know how you can go back and reply to a text. Remember, I
Yeah,
said outright and cover,
he did.
and sure enough, too many points in the NFL. It's like that Monday night game, guys. That Denver game. I would that more so. I would have told you Denver was covering that game. I didn't watch any of it, but I read about it and watched the highlights the next day. That game was nuts on Monday night too. Apparently,
It was, and it was great because it was like 40 seconds left on the clock, and Peyton's calling timeout for the Broncos, and they run 20 seconds off the clock, and then proceed to lose the game. But I don't know. But back
it's
to the
nuts,
Bengals
man.
Steelers madness. We've got missed extra points. We got missed field goals. I
Now,
thought
did Burrow have 5 turnovers?
4.
4. He had 4 interceptions, but they turned the
No,
ball over more than.
3 picks and a fumble, I believe.
Yeah, and I think we talked last week. If you have 5 turnovers or something like
somebody
that,
else
there's no way
fumbled
you're
though
winning.
too. Jordan, they had 5 total. Correct.
Yes, I think there was another fumble in there. They had 5. They were going to become the first team to win a game with -5 on the turnovers or something. They put a graphic up.
No, it was first time since like 2012 or something.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was longer than that. Oh,
No.
never mind then. Still, that's a wild stat.
Uh,
But
but
I
we
meant to text you, Joey. Did you think Chris Boswell's extra or missed field goal was the loudest dunk in the history of the NFL?
Dude, it was
That
a
thing
big one. I'll tell
echoed
you
the
that.
house.
It was a bomb. I thought it was gonna swing in from
I did too.
that.
It looked like a knuckleball, man. It was just like,
Yeah.
I mean,
And I watched that entire game with my uncles. Actually, we had family in town, so it was nice to be with them, and it was quite the game. They both teams didn't want to win, and I always say this a lot, and to you guys too. It was classic NFL. Like it was just, it wasn't a great game, but it was entertaining. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It wasn't wonderful football played, but it was just entertainment. And for some reason, I feel like we're more entertained by the NFL than college because it's so crazy to us that happens on the NFL level. Because in college, you expect that stuff to happen
right.
weekly, right? These are teenagers playing football, but these guys are professionals playing, and when they do that on a weekly basis, you're like, holy shit, how does that happen? I mean, it was nuts. And we even talked about it. I didn't get to watch the Philly Detroit game, but that got wild. Apparently, you had the
Yeah, the
Colts game
Lions
that
came
ended up
back.
20 all. Like you almost had 2 ties, 20 all. I doubt there's ever been 2 ties the same weekend, the same score ever in NFL history. I'd imagine. I didn't look it up. I don't know, but
We need an intern to look that up.
Yeah, we need we need somebody that is like a stats guy in the background, just like on here, but like not in the video, you know?
And then Bears Niners. There's no way that game should have been played.
I said I didn't even know that game was going to be
Oh
rainy the
man,
day of.
yeah. All those videos you see on TikTok, a lot of people have posted, fans or whatever. I mean, that was some deep water. I mean,
Yeah, there. I don't know how they let them play it. Everybody
uh,
complains about Soldier Field already, and that place was flooded.
yeah.
It was bad.
I
But
wonder if
great
some of the
football.
you still see some of the skilled players wear gloves, and I'm like, are the gloves really helping in that type of weather? Like, is the technology that good?
I think they trade them out a lot. I think I would love to know how many gloves wide receivers go through in a game.
Do you think they go through more than one pair?
I'm wondering, do they like change at halftime? Because a lot of guys will change a full uniform. Like quarterbacks will change a full uniform at halftime, like whether it's jersey or whatever, just because they're soaked in sweat.
Yeah.
But I wonder if like wide receivers go through like 2, 3 pairs of gloves a game. I don't know. I feel like they get ripped sometimes. Do they lose the stickiness? I don't know. That's a question I would love to have a
The
wide receiver answer.
stickiness might lose its fastball there in the first half, you know?
I don't know. I would imagine they go through multiple. I feel like.
I'm gonna Google that real quick.
I've never been a gloves guy. I never really played wide receiver, so I can't speak to any of that. Not that I act like I played football either, but just flag.
Only one of us in this podcast has ever played a single competitive down of football.
I mean, and was the player of the year. Come on, you forgot that.
No,
And
Ooh.
region player of the year.
Region player, defensive player of the year, region player. Sucked at state, snapped a football 60 yards over the punter's head. First possession of the game.
Hey, Bengals Steelers
That's
game.
neither here
It
nor
ain't
there.
that easy to snap the ball, folks, to the holder. It's not that easy. That's a
You know,
skill.
I was thinking about that. I found it. Well, I guess punts were a little bit easier to snap than extra points or any type of field goal. Because, like, a punt, it felt like I could just sling it with more accuracy and it not fly over the punter's head, even though I screwed up in that game. But you have such a shorter distance to snap it, and you got to kind of keep it low, which is hard to do. It's not easy, which it might seem like it on TV, obviously, but I'm sure that tied in to whoever was snapping. Does he practice that every week, or is it just like who can snap on the team, guys? Oh, I can.
Zach Taylor said in his press conference that Mitch Sample had practiced that all, or no, Cam Sample, excuse me. Cam Sample had practiced that all like preseason because they had like a long snapper on the practice squad too. So I guess it's always like next man up. There are multiple guys are practicing, but still, it's a lot different than practice versus a week one in the NFL against your division rival.
And you got all that pressure, like
Yeah.
all the stress and anxiety over top of that football when you're trying to snap it in
Yeah.
a critical moment of the game.
But enough about my teams. We the Jets lost. The
They're
Jets
terrible.
lost to their
We
quarterback.
were
former
0 and
team.
3. I mean, this week as a pod.
Yeah.
Jordan, your
Yeah.
team's going to be the only one worth a damn by the end of the season anyway. The
Joey's
Bengals will
lost
be
his
fine.
quarterback already.
The Bengals will be fine, honestly. They'll be fine by the time they should make the playoffs, whether it be as a wild card. I don't know if they'll win the division. I still don't think they'll do that again. I think they'll win a wild card, though.
Joey lost.
Yeah.
his quarterback
We
this
could talk
week.
about Dallas. We could talk about New York, but they both suck. There's really nothing to say about it. For those that watched it, I mean,
It's just like
be good, and I was like, no, they're not.
it's so upsetting the Jets every year. It's just
I think Jones
when
when Zach comes back, it might be a little better.
yeah. I don't know. They've always had trouble in the quarterback position. Then you had Geno Smith. He had a good game apparently with Seattle. Speaking of past quarterbacks of the New York Jets.
Again, I think they play that game again. Denver wins it like 9 times out of 10. I mean, but it's the NFL.
Weird game.
These guys are professionals.
Yep.
Well, Tech looked a little bit better.
Yeah, the Hokies finally look good. Again, I did not watch a single down of the game. I hate admitting that, but it is true. My youngest brother was there at the game. Had a hell of a good time. But I was at a
They
wedding.
played in Blacksburg. I didn't get to catch up on it
Yeah,
either.
I was in Blacksburg. I was at a wedding this weekend, so that's why I was not able to watch the game.
Because
Beautiful
Joey
wedding.
either works a wedding or is either going to a wedding every weekend.
Yeah. Well, so here's a funny story about the wedding. So we get there. I'm not kidding. We don't know anybody but the bride and groom. That's it. We don't it's Emily's former coworker who we've then become friends with, her now wife, and his now wife. And we get there and we're like, oh, table 22, we're going to be in the back. I'm thinking, last one served, et cetera, et cetera. We get down to the table. We're with the groomsmen, guys. We're like sitting with groomsmen and dates. And it was wonderful. We had a hell of a great time. But you're thinking you get there. That shows you how important you are to the bride and groom, in my opinion, right? Not in like a negative way, just like, hey, we got to stick this guy somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But I'm sure they were like, oh, they're young. They're the same age as these people. They'll get along. And sure enough, we did. We had a hell of a good time.
That is so funny.
Yeah, we're back there. We're back there with the best man.
was
We're
it?
back there with a bunch of his high school friends, his college friends. We had a great time.
That's
So
cool.
we knew nobody. I knew nobody else there other than my date and the bride and groom. So
The situations you get yourself into, man.
well, you guys are
cracks
gonna
me
laugh at
up.
this. Emily actually knew somebody else at a different wedding in the same venue. So it was at a hotel, and there were 2 receptions at this hotel. And one of Emily's friends from college was at this other reception. So Emily reception hopped to the other reception at one point to hang out with her friend. Then they came back into our reception, got photos taken together, her and this girl. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
And then there were two professional wrestlers there.
And then I found $5.
And then you found $5. See, it just like makes the story so
But it
much
was a
fun.
wonderful wedding, good time. So
Well, big football weekend. I think the Steelers and Bengals game was the only one I got to watch any of or anything. I didn't get to watch any college football on Saturday. We had a busy weekend. And then my sister had a baby shower on Sunday because she's having a third child here pretty soon. Third girl. Oh, whew. Kids,
Wow.
man.
One
Kids.
sister has 3 boys. One sister has 3 girls. What is in
Yeah.
store for Ryan, folks?
Yeah.
he's gonna have a good mix.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
Could be twins next.
Man, Felix has being I mean, he's been sick for the last feels like forever, man. He got, he had COVID when we all had COVID, the first like month of his life or something like that. He's had this like respiratory thing. You know, it's weird how newborns get sick. I mean,
Hmm.
Part of it, right? You send
He's
them
doing
it
right
is.
though, otherwise, right?
Yeah, but he's starting to feel better. He's just not sleeping as good as he was, and eating is just it's a little bit slower now that he's kind of sick because he's like stuffy and nasally and congested a little bit. And it's hard to get all that broken up like as a newborn because they can't like cough or chuck it out or anything.
Or
Yeah,
communicate with you.
Yeah.
right, exactly. So it's fun stuff, just life.
Wonder if you can rub vapor rub on a baby's chest. You think that?
No, I actually read that. You can't.
Yeah.
So it's like humidifier or, we've been turning the shower on really hot and almost making it like a steam room
Yeah.
and taking him in there. That's been the best thing.
Back in the double wide, Jordan used to get Vicks vapor rub roll.
I don't know. It's a legit question.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know either, dude. I'm just joking around.
Jones is giving his kid the old minor league baseball sauna there, shutting the bathroom door and putting the hot water on, trying to sweat out the night before.
That's right, man. You create a little steam room.
Yeah.
It's the best, dude.
Yeah.
If you never got in a steam room and showered after a night of heavy drinking, highly recommend.
Oh yeah. I'm a big sauna guy too. So if I go to like a gym that has both.
Jones, sauna, then steam, then
Yes.
sweat.
And if there's like a pool there too, that just like makes
Ooh-wee.
I thought Jordan was going to say something. You had your mouth open.
Oh, I was going to tell Joey. Jeff Kemp and I used to do that all the time at like La Quinta on the road somewhere in the Big South or whatever. We'd be just sitting in the bathroom with just hot water on.
Love it. Love it.
That's hilarious. You guys want to move on to Who Burned the Bacon? We're going to be mowing through this episode, by the way, because we are all tired, ladies and gentlemen, but we still love you. And if you're listening to this, we do appreciate you.
Lead it off there, host. Who burned your bacon this week?
Who burned the bacon? And I've been in a lot more gas stations recently, like traveling a little bit. And every time I go to a bathroom, like pee at a gas station, any sort of convenience store, it is just completely destroyed all the time. And so, like, the people that destroy convenience store bathrooms burn my bacon. It's bullshit.
How do they destroy it? Can you give us like some
I
examples?
mean, just like pissing in the floor, like not throwing away their tissues, stopping the toilet up, not telling the manager it stopped up, and then somebody comes in, pees on top of that, and then it splatters everywhere. It's on the wall.
Yeah.
The sink is a flat out mess. There's dirt everywhere. There's no soap. There's no towels. All you have is a blower for your hands.
What we talking? We talking Valeros? We talking Texacos? What we talking there in Pike County?
So you got a lot of double quicks, Speedway,
Speedway's there.
Speedway. What's the other ones? Like Autobahn's another one. A lot of like private gas stations.
I judge gas stations back home by their pizza rolls. Their homemade pizza rolls.
It's hard to beat double quick pizza rolls. Let me just say that. I guess Joey, you had like Sheets, which is like the golden star child.
Yeah, we did. But growing up, we didn't have those though. You know what I mean? Like those have been more prominent more recently.
where we came from, a gas stations, all the gas stations were like the best restaurants.
No, no. Honestly, we had one we used to go to after church every Sunday called Shorty's. That my dad used to know the owner, and we would hop in there, and there's gas out front. We're talking 4 pumps, and they had a bunch of breakfast sandwiches we would get after church.
Little
But
River Grill in Radford.
our LRG, man, the best.
Yeah, I
So
used to get bologna, egg, and cheese biscuits before school. I was talking to Kelly about this week, just like reliving, like living in Hayside.
Shout out JDM, baby.
Yeah, I mean the thick bologna too, not the thin stuff. So it's like a grilled piece, a thick bologna. Oh, it's so good with fresh
just
egg.
sounds gross.
Or I would
Um,
get like the fried chicken biscuit, which is, I mean, they're both super unhealthy. I don't recommend it. But it
I
got
guess
me through high school.
we'll move on to mine. And Jones preemptively posted this on the internet, but that lady cooking the fucking bacon in the oven burned my bacon. We've,
Oh,
we've had this,
Joey.
we've had this battle amongst this group chat for years. We go to the Bristol race. Well, we went to the Bristol race for a span of, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. It seemed like maybe it was less than that. Maybe it was 3 or 4. But people tend to put their bacon in the oven, and I don't understand why. Like it's just lazy, and
Lazy.
it's not a good way to accurately cook bacon or correctly cook bacon to its potential. And Jones sends me this video, and I've got a response video coming out. So we will let you guys, be on the edge of your seat for that. But that woman putting the bacon in the oven really burned my bacon, literally.
You got to go see the video on our Instagram. So
Skillet
if you're not
frying
following
only
us,
by Joey. Skillet frying only.
But yeah, like
skillet fried only.
I mean, you'll understand once you see the video. But you always tend your bacon. It's absurd.
Question:
Yeah.
What's more of a sin to you, putting your bacon in the oven or putting it in the microwave to cook it?
The oven, the oven. Microwave is how my grandmother actually initially cooked it for us growing up. So
Microwaved bacon, you'd rather have it microwaved
I'm
than
shocked. I
in
don't know
the
if I
oven?
agree with that statement.
Lord,
absolutely,
no.
that's
It
how
makes
I
it
was. I
chewy.
was raised on microwavable bacon. Even in college, you get the microwavable bacon from the Sam's Club. My mom sent me with like the packs of bacon. I'm not kidding you guys.
I'm not shocked by that.
Like I'm talking like we're talking like a 50 pack of bacon. It's got strips on each thing. It was like a sheet, a sheet of like 10 strips each. Did your parents not send you those with you to college? I would have people come into my room, grab their own bacon, put it in the microwave, eat it, and then leave. Like I was a hit on the hall.
Who was
Oh
Um,
the
man.
who was your biggest visitor there?
my buddy
Anybody?
Lane
Lane. Okay.
literally
Lame.
would come eat would get high as all get out. Sorry, Lane. We won't talk about it. But would show up to my room, either eat all my cheddar stacks from Lay's or eat my bacon. Like I'm not kidding. I mean, you guys like this was my life. But yeah, like I microwave was how I grew up on it. And
Like
then
uncooked, okay, it's uncooked bacon and actually cooked in the microwave.
well, it's a pre-cooked bacon. You just heat it up in the microwave.
Okay. So
Some
I was
people do cook their bacon raw, straight up in the microwave.
Jones,
really,
go look it up on
yeah.
the internet. We'll post a photo of it, and I'll show you which one it is. It's a Hormel 50 pack.
I know what Joey's talking about. Yeah.
That's a
Interesting.
lot of bacon. How many pounds is that?
It's really thin. I mean, it's I guess pounds, but it's really thin bacon.
50 pack. 50 pack that Joe used to go back.
There you
50?
go. You
Would
can't
you
see
eat
it,
the whole
but
thing yourself? Like, how long does that take you to eat?
it's like black. I mean, where's the internet? Where's
Over
my?
here. Over here. Yeah.
It's like one of those, Jones.
Okay. So
Here.
it's already cooked. You're just heating
It
it
can
up.
just sit out. Yeah, it just sits out. Like you don't need to like do anything with it.
Counter bacon. Gotta have that counter
Yeah,
bacon.
oh yeah, the CB baby.
CB,
CB.
TB.
I'm
Jordan,
excited about that
who
video.
burned your bacon, Jordan?
So I'd have battled the Luke Combs pre-sale today for his
I
world.
forgot, by the way. I missed the 4 o'clock again. I screwed up.
I had a 10 a.m. appointment with Ticketmaster for the Charlotte show. Jess and I both got picked for Philly and Charlotte. We decided to go with Charlotte. I was in there trying to get 2 tickets for a damn hour. I click 2. Sorry, your seats are taken. Click 2 more. Sorry, your seats are taken. I mean, it was just in there battling, and I'm like, are my seats taken? Like, who's clicking those 2 seats quicker than I am? But I finally ended up Go ahead.
How much do they cost? I was curious.
So we got two like in the upper level, which usually I've had great luck getting things on the floor. And I want to say they're like $100 a piece. Luke always said he would never raise his prices, but I did see that like I think pit was like 150, not counting fees, and then like the floor seats were like 125, and then it progressively went down the higher up. So he's raised his prices a lot because I saw him in Boone last year at his own in the pit for $100 with fees.
Did he go to App State?
He went to App State,
I
yeah.
mean, to Mars Hill, but yeah.
What a hell of a
Inside
weekend
joke,
they
Mars
had.
Hill. Yeah.
Inside joke, sorry.
So yeah, I battled fucking bots all day. I'm sure there were bots and scalpers in there.
Oh, you know there are. And
I'm
then
gonna try
they're
another
selling
free
them
throw
on StubHub.
tomorrow. See
I
what
should
I
have,
get.
Jordan. I should have sent you mine. I forgot. I just forgot about it.
You're
I got
good.
the text and everything yesterday, and
Oh, you're good. I
Where's
got
the Where is the Luke Combs concert?
in Bank of America, so the Panther Stadium.
yeah, and the Steelers, the Steelers Stadium hackers are up here.
He's moved on to playing just now, but like football stadiums. So in the summer.
I saw that he had like a something wrong with his voice or something in a concert recently, and he
Yeah, he was in
gave
Bangor,
everybody
Maine.
back a refund.
Yeah, he came out and was like, guys, my voice is not gonna be able to give you the show I want tonight, so I'm gonna refund your all's money and then still play you the show. And I was like, what a stand up guy. Like you don't find
Yeah.
people doing that.
And there's all that flooding right now. Well, not right now, but what's happened in Eastern Kentucky recently. But Jamie Johnson played a show here in Pikeville last weekend. Sunday or Saturday or Sunday, and that whole show, all the artists donated 100% back to flood relief.
I think it's here in a couple weeks. I think it's Stapleton, Tyler, and Sturgill are getting together at Rupp, which would be
That
awesome.
is going to be massive. I've seen all three of them in concert.
They're
all
doing
great.
a flood relief deal.
Yeah, Jordan and I, for those who don't know, we're big time Luke Combs fans, thanks to our good friend Brian Cronin. But we saw him in a holler in West Virginia back at the Putnam County State Fair. I say State Fair, Putnam County Fair, excuse me. Back in what was that, Jordan? 2015, 16?
July, I think of 16, 17, somewhere.
Now he's selling out stadiums.
Yeah.
How many shows have y'all been to? I feel like you guys used to go like anytime he was even remotely close.
5 or 6 for me.
I've been to 9 so far.
Holy moly.
Yeah, you've been more than I have. You've even traveled more than I have the same, I believe, Jordan.
Yeah, I've seen him in a couple different states.
That's a lot. 9 times?
Yeah.
That's commitment.
He puts on a great show every time. I mean, like, yeah, they're a little bit different, but I'd say the best concert we've been to from like just a fun time was we all got together in Charlotte. He played PNC Music Pavilion down there, and we tailgated. And it was me, Joey, Cronin, father of twins, all of Joey's little brothers, buddies.
My dad?
Yeah, Joey's dad showed up.
That's cool.
He didn't last that long. He didn't last that long, but he was there.
He's there. He had a good time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But
tailgating before concerts is a fun time.
If you can get a good group of people with you, it's a great time.
Yeah, definitely all about the group of people you're with. That's for sure.
For sure.
Sorry to interrupt the program, but we wanted to let you know that Why Not Us is brought to you by Lincoln Road Roastery based in Kentucky. Lincoln Road is a coffee roastery and cold brew coffee and tea brewery. If you want good coffee, sparkling tea, or kombucha, look no further than Lincoln Road. They have locations in Northern Virginia and Pikeville, Kentucky, or you can also visit their website at lincolnroad.coffee to receive coffee every month, and you can also check out some of the cool merch they have as well. Lincoln Road reminds us all to drink good coffee and do good things. Use code WhyNotUsPod to receive 10% off of your order. Back to the program. So we have a new little segment here on the show, and I think it's going to be fantastic. So you guys know a couple episodes ago, we talked about the bash at the beach, and we walked around the neighborhood and we talked about good ideas that are actually bad ideas. We focus mostly on restaurants when we were walking around the neighborhood, but we are going to do any kind of business that might be a good idea, but that's actually a bad idea. And I think that Joey's got a great one that he's going to share with us. He kind of talked to us before. We don't usually talk about what we're going to talk about on the pod, but he did mention the three that he was going to bring to the table today. But I think you're just choosing one, and then
Yeah,
we're going to make it worse.
we'll just choose one for now,
Okay.
and I take full credit for this idea because a former coworker of mine and I have discussed this. The title of the restaurant I would like to start, which is a great idea, but probably a bad idea, is called the Bacon Grab. And the whole premise of the restaurant is you have barrels of bacon in the middle of the restaurant. You pay a flat fee, and the bacon is, cured different ways, flavored different ways, cooked different ways. But you pay, we'll say, 19.99, and you put on like a glove, and one person from your table gets to put a hand in a barrel of bacon, aka the bacon grab, and gets to grab that and take it back to the table. And that's the shtick to draw you into the restaurant, thus called the bacon grab. And we'd serve other things, bacon related probably. But the whole reason to get you in the store or the restaurant, tourist trap, so to speak, is the bacon grab. So I
Do
think
you
it's a
allow, is it like each table? Is it unlimited grabs? Like,
no,
can
no, it's
five
one
people
grab. You pay for one grab, and if you want to pay for
per
multiple
table?
grabs, well, you can pay for multiple grabs. I mean, but the whole point is one grab at a time, and yeah. So that's my wonderful idea because who doesn't love bacon?
And you can, I mean, thinking about grabbing just like a handful of bacon depends on how it's cooked, right? It can't
Well, and
be too
again,
crispy.
we could have maple flavored bacon. We could have just regular flavored bacon. We could have some sort of honey glazed bacon. I mean, you could do anything you want with it. And I think we'd have a certain like 4 or 5 we would do every day, and then there'd be a seasonal one or a rotating one, depending on what time of year we would have. But yeah, the bacon grab.
And everything is flavored bacon. There's even bacon beer, there's bacon cocktails,
Exactly.
there's wine infused with bacon.
You would your stool you would sit on would be bacon shaped in some capacity, or your
Just
booth
a
would
big
be
old hog sitting on a
yeah,
hog.
yeah, your table would be
Like
a
a pig
pig. I
snout.
mean, we could think of many ways to enhance the bacon grab experience. But yeah, the bacon grab.
I love it.
I think the first one should open in Sevierville, Tennessee. Pigeon
Oh,
Forge.
that'd be
I would
perfect.
kill down there.
Oh yeah, that'd be so perfect.
High cholesterol city, baby.
Yeah. Dollywood, is that where you'd want to put it?
No, I
Or
think somewhere on
Pigeon
one of those
Forge?
strips. I think somewhere on one of
Oh
those
yeah,
strips on
Pigeon
the side of the road.
Forge or
Yeah,
Sevierville before you
somewhere
get
through
to the
there.
yeah, yeah, that'd be a good place
So
for it.
actually, I'm glad we're doing this segment. I thought of one this weekend. So I was also at a wedding, and there was an ice cream truck. And as I was sitting there watching my dad absolutely demolish a butter pecan waffle cone, when you get an ice cream cone, they sometimes give you a napkin, they sometimes don't. It's so hard to eat that quick enough that it don't start melting down the waffle cone. It gets on your hand, it's dripping everywhere. What if they made napkins that were like edible? So when you put it on the cone to keep it
Uh-huh.
from getting all over you, somehow with the ice cream hits it and it forms some type of also flavored, sugary, whatever on the cone, and it's just all one big edible. It cleans the mess, but you can eat it too. I don't know. I'm just let
It
that go.
like puffs out and becomes like cotton candy.
Something like that. It absorbs it. It's like,
Like
yeah,
like a chia pet, but for I don't,
exactly. Yeah. I mean, my dad ate it so quick that he didn't have to have a napkin, but I was thinking like that seems to be always an
it
issue.
it was the worst as a kid. You're exactly right. When you
Yeah.
would get it stuck on the cone and you would have to like try to peel it off and it wouldn't peel off. And
What if it was like edible? It dissolved into like an edible something.
Yeah, there should be like, there's rice paper, right? So rice paper could work, and then you like
Exactly.
somehow sweeten the rice paper
Something.
if it
That's
needs it.
got to be a working. That
But I
somebody's got.
think rice paper doesn't have any flavor.
But you
I
can
was what
flavor it, sure.
you could flavor it. Yeah.
There's like chocolate and vanilla. Like that's your two. That's the prototype. So the two flavors to start out with.
I
I like
dig it.
that.
That's a great
Um,
idea. That's a bad idea, but a great idea.
Yeah.
but it also really could be a good idea.
Yeah. It's practical. Will it work? Maybe not.
Sold in like little sheets, like little square sheets. So you just wrap the ice cream cone and
It
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. It would be like one of those like Listerine things you used to put on your tongue, almost like
Right.
Sam,
Bingo.
Oh yeah.
those Listerine strip. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of other things that that was so flimsy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's actually ice
Because
cream
remember
on
how
flavored strips, and so like that's a byproduct of the paper. So it's like put it on the tongue, it dissolves, it tastes like ice cream.
But remember how bad of an idea that is. When was the last time you saw someone have a Listerine strip? Probably
A
not.
very long time, but I used to
Probably
rip
not.
those like crazy because I actually
Well,
liked them a lot.
I know, but probably not made anymore, right? It's a good idea that was a bad idea. Like that's like the whole premise of this segment.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like they
Could
don't
you
make those.
imagine initially when they were pitching that?
I enjoyed them too, dude. I'm not saying that. I just like that's exactly what this segment needs. So those kinds of ideas.
And I wonder what that little paper is made out of.
Exactly.
I don't
And
know.
it
Because
just
that thing would just
dissolve.
dissolve on your tongue. You're exactly right.
I'm sure of it that somebody does like, crazy flavors of those. Like, could you imagine like cereal flavored ones? That were like sweet and it like
Yeah.
curbed your appetite a little bit, so you didn't like eat a piece of cake. It's like a healthy thing.
This is me being funny here, but it's a good idea. It's a bad idea. That Josh Allen coffee we sent today.
What's he thinking?
He's like trying to get a
No, I
check.
think, but it's just kind of funny. Like at his level, he's selling like a Keurig cup of coffee.
He
That
loves
was,
it, but he's trying to do it to raise money. Like respect
yeah,
to him. Don't get me
What
wrong,
was
but
the name? What was the name of it? What'd they call it?
I
JA.
can't remember.
I watched the commercial thing, which is cute too. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for that local stuff. But it's just
I
funny.
didn't know the print. I didn't really read it, so I don't have a lot of context on it. Uh, I just looked at the images, and then he had a K cup in his hand. I was like, "What's he doing?"
But again, like he's trying to. I mean, it's more or less just trying to raise awareness for those shots.
Oh yeah,
That's the whole point as well with it. But one of those things, like good idea but bad idea. Like
yeah,
never been done before. So I'm hoping it sells well for him.
Yeah.
That I know of, right? In that regard, in that space with coffee, like
How much-
sporting, like a brand deal, we'll say.
How much bacon do you think you could actually grab in one grab? Like how many pounds? Like
Oh, dude, 3 or 4.
how many?
Hmm.
Is there like a pound in a pack?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean? In 1 pound?
Like
Yeah,
in one pack, there's like a pound. I'm trying to
Yes,
imagine
yes,
what
yes,
pounds
pound of
are.
bacon.
So that's
Yeah.
pretty easy. I feel like.
yes.
You got to grab it in the middle if you can get it all perfect. Well, I
I
guess
don't. It can't be super crispy because it's going to crumble. It's got to
Yeah,
have
it's gotta-
some type of. It's got to
I
have
mean,
a little plop.
logistically, guys, it's going to be a very tough thing to start up. I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of things that we would have to work through to figure out how to work it. The
Yeah.
bulk thing is going to be an issue. I understand these things. I've thought them all out. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, well, eventually we'll get around to doing it. Once this podcast, once we get some cash flowing, we'll
Exactly.
just take all that cash and start the bacon, whatever we're going to call it,
The bacon grab.
bacon grab. Yeah. Come on down to the bacon grab. How many pounds of bacon do you think you can grab in one grab for $19.99?
Can you imagine the commercial for that?
Oh, it'd be unreal. I would get a like hog seller. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we got you down there.
Oh yeah,
Auctioneer to do that?
auctioneer.
That'd be wild.
That'd be classic. All right, I think we should move on to super high fives. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I can't go first yet. I will say that because I need two more that I'm working on. So
I'll
I
lead
think
it off.
Joey.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right, Jordan, you got it or Joey?
yeah. I'll go right ahead.
All right.
Sparky.
So we're tonight, top 5 animals. Can be domestic, can be in the wild, whatever. Number 5, tigers. Shout out Hayside, shout out Cincinnati Bengals, tigers.
I like how he has a play on sports there. Anywho.
Number 4, lemurs.
Oh, that's a
Lemurs
cute
are
little
like-
animal.
They're wild, and then also Duke has a lemur exhibit.
It's
that's like-
super cool.
It's super cool, and it makes you kind of think like lemurs are awesome.
Duke what?
It's like the Duke Science Museum.
Yeah, like Duke University has
wow.
like a lemur exhibit.
I
it's
was
crazy.
3 years old when I found that out. Okay.
Yeah. Well, if they paid us $17,000 to go play him, Joey, we might would have went to the lemur exhibit while we were there. Number 3,
UNC paid that much, but yeah.
Yeah, well, UNC paid that much.
Which, by the way, they handed me a check before the game on the court. For those wondering, handed me a check for $17,000 that I had to take back to our university.
I've got a picture of Joey with it on the bus.
Just so proud of he's just doing such a great job holding that big
So funny,
check.
you think like, hey, we can wire some money in the 21st century.
No.
No, we're just gonna hand the Dobo a check before the game.
What if it was a bundle of cash?
But they seriously.
Suitcase, man. Suitcase of the cash.
We'll eventually let you go, Jordan.
Oh, you're good. Number 3, spent a majority of my life with this animal, but cows.
Very unique animal.
I think you can almost train a cow like you can train a dog. You could fire up a truck and they'll come straight to the barn. They're smart. They learn. Number 1 and 2 interchangeable with me, but number 2 is otters. I fucking love otters. When we go to the zoo, I go straight to the otters. That is what I want to see. They're laying in like a tub of ice chips, just crushing ice chips. That looks like a dream. If I ever become rich, I'd buy like an otter or 2 otters. I'd give them some water and just because I think they're like the dog of the sea.
Yeah, they seem like it. They seem like sweet little things, you know.
Yeah, otters
wouldn't mind having an otter running around here.
Unbelievable animals, by the way. I'm floored.
Number 1, dogs. I don't think you can ever beat a dog. I mean, it's man's best friend. There's so many different breeds of dogs. It's just wild. I don't know what animal in this world is the most breeds of. I'd love to know that, but I would imagine dogs are up there, but it's probably some damn insect.
Oh yeah, we should look that up.
Maybe an ant.
It could be an ant. I don't know if that's technically an animal. I know, we're not a science podcast.
We could be though, because we're smart.
We could be, but that's my top 5 all over the board. But
love it, Jordan.
Big otters guy.
We're gonna put that on a T-shirt. Big otter guy.
Big otter guy. Mine are all over the place as well for me, guys. For me, number 5, as we learned tonight, like Joe Burrow, I'm a big cat guy. We know this about me. So number 5, a cat. Grew up with cats, love cats. Joe made some good points tonight in a video we watched. You just kind of let him be. He and Colin Cowherd discussed that. For me, number 4, I've always been fascinated by giraffes. Fun fact about me, my favorite park at Disney World is the Animal Kingdom. And I love going on the freaking safari ride. Big time safari ride guy.
It's a fun time.
You always get to see some good giraffes there, and then you always get to. Locally, we've got some giraffes at the Pittsburgh Zoo. And then growing up, there was a Chesterfield Zoo we would go to in Richmond. We don't really have. I mean, there's a Richmond Zoo too, and there's Maymont Park. But yeah. So number 4 for me was giraffes. Number 3, it was funny that Jordan mentioned Hayside Tigers. I went bald eagle. I actually went to a high school where we were the Eagles, but I can't think of anything more American than a bald eagle. I always find it funny too when you go to the zoo somewhere, or you go to even like Busch Gardens. They've got animals there too. Like, oh, the endangered bald eagle. I'm like, oh, that's great. It's in captivity.
Dollywood has a bunch of eagles too.
So number 2,
very special.
Number 2 and number 1 are Beanie Baby related for me, actually.
So
back in the day, big Beanie Baby collector. Number 2 for me was Patty the Platypus, man. So Platypus was my number 2 because as a kid, you collect these Beanie Babies and you just enjoyed that animal as well, as much as it was a real animal. But to me, it wasn't real, but it was real. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. Probably doesn't at this point because I'm kind of delirious. But Patty the Platypus was a favorite of mine. And then number 1 was my first ever Beanie Baby, and I actually like these animals in addition to the Beanie Baby, but Mel the koala bear. So koalas were my number 1 animals that I listed here. The whole bamboo thing was very cool to me. One might think my name being Joey a kangaroo would have made the top 5, but it was slightly out. It was number 6. Number 7 was panda for me. But so those marsupials and those we'll call them Australian-based animals were always kind of my favorite growing up too.
I just googled a play to see what it looked like. It looks like if a beaver and a duck had a kid together.
Yeah,
Patty the Platypus, dude. Yeah.
Wow.
Did you not do Beanie Babies? That was a big thing.
It was a big thing for me for like a short period of time, but yeah,
the McDonald's ones too, the mini Beanie Babies, the teeny Beanie Babies. Oh man, that was like a hot commodity at McDonald's.
Yeah, I still had those. You'd probably be rich and retired.
I do have them.
Have you sold them? Have you looked into selling them?
No, they're at my house. I probably should.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my 5.
I love it, Joey. All right, my top 5 super high 5 animals. Number 5, a horse. I just think a horse is so interesting to me. Jordan says no. Did you have horses growing up?
Definitely afraid of horses, folks.
Got kicked as a kid on the farm. I despise horses. Love betting on the ponies. Don't want to be around them.
Yeah, I've known a couple people that's actually gotten kicked by a horse, and
I was like a little kid.
Pretty.
Yeah, I was like a little kid.
Yeah, but a horse I think is a unique animal and freaking strong. I don't know if you've ever been up close to a horse, but damn, are they muscular? Kind of like me. No. Then I found $5. All right, number 4, a bird. There are a lot of species of the bird. We need to look that up. How many species are there? But I just think here, like I really enjoy the mornings when I wake up and go outside and the birds are chirping. They're all talking. They all sound different. They're singing.
You have like a particular one? You just are very generic.
No, just birds, man.
Okay.
I do like the hummingbird. Doesn't sing as pretty as other birds, I will say that. But they're, flapping their wings like the speed of light. And we had a little hummingbird feeder out here and used to sit on our back porch and watch them, which is pretty cool. So a bird, number 4, and we should look up how many species there are because there's probably thousands. Yeah, if I had to guess. Number 3, a lion. I just think a lion is freaking amazing. Huge animal. I've never seen one up close in person, which I'd love to. Kelly and I have been wanting to go to the safari, which that hopefully will happen in my lifetime. But a lion is awesome. Number 2, a whale. Biggest animal of the sea. Humongous. Also, I've never seen one in person, but I think that would be awesome. And to see a blue whale, man, the killer whale, the orca, I'm not as interested in I am as the big blue whale. So whale, number 2. Number 1, same as Jordan, a dog. Oh, sweet Penny. I just love her. And we don't deserve dogs, us humans. They sure are special, I'll tell you that. Joey is probably hating his dog right now because it's a puppy, but there's nothing
growing
like
on him. It's growing on him. You can tell.
And no matter how pissed off you get at your dog, they still love you and still act like they're, happy as could be to see you.
You're exactly right. Jordan, did you look up what the most species was? I did a quick Google search and ants showed up, so I think I'm smart as hell. I see 14,000 known species of ants.
Oh my gosh.
I did look up the birds while we were talking about it. It looks like there's like 9,000 to 10,000 different types of species.
This claims like
insects. So close.
This claims like insects is the most, but yeah, ants is. I think I was right. Which I mean, I don't know if this internet's lying to me.
I'm not surprised, Joey. I mean, your brain.
Well,
is
you know
just
how
like...
the internet, your phone listens to you, so I think it's telling me what I want to hear right now. But
that's just wild that there's that many different types of ants, though.
I can't believe it.
It's alleging you put in Google and it's like, oh, mammals, like no shit, like oh, insects, no crap.
I think it's wild that like a granddaddy longlegs is like the most poisonous spider in the world, but it can't bite us.
They can't bite you. Yeah. When I found that out, like when I was younger, I was terrified of them.
It's just crazy. I mean,
freaking spiders.
Also, our listeners, we're probably going to get some hate that sharks wasn't on there because they get a fucking week on TV. But fuck sharks.
They are really interesting too.
They're interesting, but like, why are we so obsessed with them as a society?
Yeah, you're right. Why are we?
I mean, sharks are like snakes. We don't give snakes a whole damn week on the Discovery Channel.
That's true. Where's Snake Week at? Huh?
Yeah, where's Snake Week at?
I don't like snakes or sharks.
Which one would you take? Snakes or sharks if you had to pick?
No.
You can't do neither. That's not the answer.
Spiders. Give me spiders.
Oh, spiders. Ugh.
Have y'all been in the ocean when a shark went
No, can
like
you
close
imagine?
by?
I
I
would like
have.
be freaking the
When,
heck.
Jones?
In Daytona a few years ago, we had just gotten like out of the water and like the pelicans were diving, and literally this shark was probably 8 to 10 feet. And it was coming through like the school of fish or whatever and feeding all along the coastline. Probably knee deep water, maybe a little bit deeper, but we had like just gotten out and here's this humongous shark coming by. And I tried to go out and get a closer look at it with,
Of
not
course.
so close to where I couldn't like run away or whatever. But yeah, it was intense.
Hard no.
Some fish graze my leg while Jones and I are out in the ocean. Nope, I'm out. I'm out. I don't do that.
That is true. Something just like nipped Jordan a little bit. It was probably like a teeny little thing. But hey, it also could have been like a 4 foot shark. We don't know. It just
We
grazed
don't know.
him.
I
And
saw
Jordan
him
was
out.
like,
Nope.
I'm out.
I'm
And I'm
out.
never getting back in, not even to pee.
Nope. I all it takes is one little thing like that, and I'm done for the day.
Well, guys, episode 8's been interesting. I have to say that. Even though we're all exhausted, we still put on a great show as we do every week. And, we should be inviting more guests, I think, to come on the pod.
I think so. Shout out to new listeners. There's some people that texted me this week, said they found out about the show. I haven't been telling enough people about it yet because I want us to be at a point where, and we're not there yet, and I think you guys would agree with me, we want to be more, we just want to be good at it. And we're not bad
Yeah.
at it, don't get me wrong, but we want to be good at it. And
Yes.
somebody, Jones, found out about it through an Instagram reel or something, and they sent
Oh,
it to
really?
another group chat I'm in, and they've got some suggestions for us, so I'll tell you guys about those offline. But shout out to
Sweet.
those new people and those new listeners. I appreciate that, and we
Were
were
the
welcome.
suggestions good?
What's that?
Were the suggestions good?
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay.
That's what I totally feel. Is like if you guys think of something that you think we could do better or have any suggestions for us,
Yeah.
some
I
of the stuff we
love
actually
that.
already do. It's funny, like we do it, but it doesn't come across that we do it. I think, and that's what I'm like, yeah, we actually do that. You just probably don't realize it. But
Oh. So we're getting better. Like I said, I think it's probably going to take 30. It might take more than 30 to get really good at podcasting. I don't know.
I just want to be
Oh,
relatable. That's my
yeah,
biggest thing. I want to like build an
relatable,
audience.
entertaining.
Yeah.
We're checking some boxes here, I think. We're doing fine. We're
Buy
doing
some
fine.
merch on our website if you haven't taken a look at it yet.
Yeah, I actually just got some merch, fellas. It's coming in the next probably 5 to 6 business days, but I'm looking forward to seeing what our Why Not Us swag looks like. Because I'm a slacker and I haven't gotten any swag yet, but I did, and it's going to be dope. I got the burgundy flat bill hat, and if you've watched any of these on YouTube, I wear a flat bill like every time. Big flat bill guy.
Like a
Uh,
platypus.
yeah, like the platypus. But
Like
I got
that.
the burgundy flat bill with WNU on it. Kind of looks like YNU University, which is dope. I got the super high five shirt.
I think you'd be WNU, but yeah.
WNU. Why not us University? WNU UU. How many U's?
Oh, did you go to Western Nebraska University, bro?
Yeah, dude. Of course I did. That just reminded me, Jordan. We didn't talk about Chad and JT.
Oh yeah, you went and saw
I
those
mean,
guys.
Yeah. I went and saw the boys last night. Joe Strider, Chad, and JT.
You mean Joel Osment? You mean, or whatever his name is, or not? What's his name? The preacher.
Yeah, Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen.
Osteen,
Oh my
sorry.
gosh, the Swolstein stuff is like the best content on the
So I
internet.
went with friend of the pod, Zach, who was on the bachelor party. Strider did a bit about Subarus, and Zach was laughing the loudest out of anybody in the world because I drive a Subaru.
Hey, I'm a big Subaru guy. We've got 3 sitting in our driveway.
The funniest part, I think, wasn't really part of the skit. The dudes legit like walked in the front door while people were like checking in and going into their seats. They like showed up like they're supposed to do like a meet and greet before, and they showed up like, I don't know, 30 minutes late and just literally walked through the door and was like, whoa, where do we go? And they like took them back through the kitchen.
That is so
It was
funny.
just, it was hilarious.
Were they
But
good live? Like,
so they went in order, I guess. If I had to rank the skits or like their set, their comedic set, I feel like it went Strider, JT, Chad, Joe. If I had to rank them,
yeah.
Were they like similar to how they are in their social media? This I don't even. I mean,
so it was literally just they just did stand up comedy. So it wasn't like they were sitting down doing the podcast kind of thing, which I think would have been funnier if the
Oh
whole thing
yeah.
was they had like 4 chairs up there and they literally was just doing like an impromptu podcast or whatever kind of thing. But it was literally just stand up.
I just want to know if those guys are like that in real life. I don't know,
I
or are they
know.
playing a
It
part?
has to be a character. Oh my gosh.
I
It
think it's
has to
similar
be.
to character, but I think Chad and JT are probably the Cali kind of vibe. I think Strider, I don't know, he kept saying he was a freak and like he would ask weird questions to people in the crowd sometimes when they did like a Q&A. I don't know. It's hard to tell if it's a gimmick or not sometimes.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for.
But I think the California vibe, like the California thing's probably like hard to fake. And like Chad
Yeah.
really gives you that California like vibe. And so does JT. They're both from Orange County, I believe. So they're kind of talking about that. I think Strider and JT went to high school together. They talked about meeting in a biology class.
Okay.
Um,
It was funny when you sent that picture. I was like, "Holy shit! I've been to that venue before."
the Comedy Zone in Greensboro.
Yeah.
Who were
Oh
you
yeah. You
there
sent us
for?
that picture
I
with
went to the
Cole.
one in Charlotte, not the one in
Oh,
Greensboro.
okay. Yeah, so they were in Charlotte tonight, and then they're going to Greenville, South Carolina tomorrow.
It was just funny. I was like, I know the Comedy Zone. I've heard of that.
Toll is a guy that I'd love to see more comedy of. He was so funny, man.
That's what I went and saw. He like graduated from a stand up class that he did Jones at the Comedy Zone in Charlotte, and I drove down and watched his set that night.
Yeah, he used to be good at that, and it seemed like he was going to try to continue to do it. I'm not sure if he is anymore, but super talented. I'll tell you that much, and
I wish he
funny.
wish I wish he would.
Maybe he will someday. But so Chad and JT were good, huh? So
It was yeah, it
Strider
was
was the
fun.
funniest,
I thought Strider had the best set. I thought he had the best set.
and they
Um,
never came all together and
they did
did
it.
skit.
They did at the end. They did like a Q&A at the end.
Oh, okay.
So they were like feeding off the people's questions. And here's the thing: when we got there, like I don't know, 6:20 ish, it started at 7 o'clock. The demographic fit their podcast. It was a lot of like young college students coming in, a lot of
Okay.
like bros. And so I think they were just so young that they didn't maybe give them so much like the questions for them to like get funny up on the stage because you got to feed off of the crowd.
I was gonna say I bet it was predominantly white male.
Yeah. There's a lot of females in the crowd. I was kind of
Were
surprised
there?
about that.
Okay.
Yeah. There was literally a group of 4 college girls that sat in front of Zach and I.
How many people?
It was packed. I'd say probably maybe 70, 80 people in.
Okay.
The one in Charlotte looked like there was well over 100. I think that Comedy Zone like is a little bit bigger.
So
But
I was imagining it would be like a several hundred people.
no,
Those
most of
venues
those are
aren't
like
that.
intimate settings.
Yeah, those venues are very small, Jones. They're not very.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say small. I mean, it's like no amphitheater, Jones. Imagine like I don't want to say
Right.
strip clubs. Imagine strip club
Just a
setting.
big
That kind of
bar.
is like I don't.
Rose right. It's like a strip club inside. I mean, it gives
Yeah,
you
it's
the
just
vibe.
dark and yeah, I don't.
There's a
It's
bar in the corner.
yeah.
Um, but there's one. Francis Ellis is coming to Charlotte like 2 days before I get married. I'd love to go see his set because I know he's hilarious.
Francis Ellis. Is that the guy that was with Barstool for a little
Yeah,
bit?
they got fired and they hired him back. I think they just got hired a couple weeks ago.
He went to that Bird Dogs company, didn't he? The shorts company?
He was like a part of them. Like I think he's one of the reasons they got on with Barstool. He like knew somebody because he played lacrosse in college. He played lacrosse at Yale or Harvard once, so I think he knew somebody.
Yeah. I didn't know he did like stand up on the road.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but trying to go to more comedy shows. I really haven't went to a lot over time, so just Chad and JT's group was there on a random Tuesday night in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Man, there's a really good comedy bar. When I used to travel for work in Knoxville, downtown, I can't remember what it was called, on like the Market Square. It's like a comedy bar, and it's awesome. All these comedians in the area will get up and do just like impromptu, and like shout out to the crowd and try to get like key words or phrases or
Yeah.
something like that and play off of it. It's so funny.
I don't think going to a comedy show, and we obviously need to wrap this podcast up.
Yeah.
The comedy show is as big in the South as it is like in the Northeast. Like New York, Philly, Boston, I think
LA.
LA. Yeah, I think that's like your hotbed for
You're right.
comedy. And you just really get people that travel and do tours, and you finally get to see them. Like if you live in North Carolina or Tennessee or whatever.
Yeah.
Like comedy's like it's usually music in the South that you see people getting into more. That's kind of like comedy.
Yeah,
I
well, if you want some really good comedy, you would follow Why Not Us Media on Instagram. I've got some hilarious videos on there if you guys haven't followed us and watched. And Joey's got a bacon tutorial coming out here pretty soon that I think is going to be pretty. One, it's going to be very educational. You guys are going to learn how to cook your bacon and tend your bacon. So that's going to be a good one. Go to our website at
Maybe we'll go viral. Maybe we'll go viral with the bacon.
I think we will. We've got a couple videos that are on the edge of getting like 10,000 views. So I think people are into them. I mean, that's pretty significant coming from 55 followers, which if you're following us, we really appreciate it. But we're on the road to 1,000 and we need 1,000 followers by Saturday. And if we do, we'll give away coffee to 10 people.
You got to offer it every week, dude. Every freaking time.
So if we get 1,000 followers, 10 followers are going to get free coffee from Lincoln Road Roastery. How about those guys? So cool and nice and kind. So yeah, you should follow us. Tell your friends to follow us. That'd be great. And I think us three are ready to go to bed.
I am. Yes.
That time.
Yeah, it's
Brush my teeth
11:46.
and take the dog out.
We're gonna get off this pod. We appreciate you all. That's another edition of Why Not Us.
Peace.
Thanks for stopping by and lending us your ears today. If you like what you heard, check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Why Not Us Media, or stop by our YouTube page, the Why Not Us Media Podcast, or hit up our website at www.whynotus.media.